What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be doing a 2025 running back prospect tier list. Whew. Obviously, this running back class has gotten a ton of buzz, being touted as one of the deepest running back classes since 2013, 2017, when we saw a ton of this massive wave of NFL caliber running backs being taken, and this next class has the potential to have a lot of producers on day one being taken. And another reason why it is going to be very hard to predict the running back for each team heading into 2025, even if it looks like, this guy has this backfield locked up. Maybe not. Maybe he's going to be sharing with one of these guys because, they took a shot on a guy on a late day 2 or day 3 pick. We see it every single season, running backs on, the later rounds taking over a backfield. So who's that going to be this year? Maybe it's a couple guys, honestly, the way that the running backs are shaping up this season. But without further ado, let's get into the video. First up, we got a guy, Taj Brooks. Very explosive, big back. I'm going to start him off in the C tier. Next up, Donovan Edwards. Had a lot of expectations for him. As a Michigan fan, it was very disappointing. He always showed up in the big games, though. He's going to be a Michigan legend forever, but as an NFL prospect, D tier. Trevor Etienne's another interesting prospect. I'm not a super big fan of him personally. I want to put him in the D tier. Now, DJ Giddens, this is a guy that has a ton of potential. A lot of guys are super high on him. I don't quite think he's A tier. I'm going to put him at the top of the B tier. Ollie Gordon is another, what the Dynasty community considers a Debbie darling. Doak Walker Award winner in 2023, but really took a step back in 2024. I'm going to put him in the C tier. Now, Omarion Hampton. This guy is fantastic. He reminds me of a Zach Charbonnet-esque player, but better. He's going to be a running back 1 next season. In my opinion, he's going to be, in terms of dynasty, he's going to be a top 12 running back immediately. As soon as he steps on the field, he's going to be a great player. I'm putting him in the A tier because the S tier is saved for you-know-who. Travion Henderson, another guy who has really boosted his stock in the latter half of the 2024 season. His freshman season was incredible, and then a few injuries derailed his sophomore year, but he is a fantastic prospect, a lot of size and speed mixed with receiving ability. I'm going to put him in the A tier with Omarion Hampton. Ashton Jeanty, S tier. Enough said. This guy's incredible. He's going to be awesome. I just hope he doesn't go to Dallas, even though that's kind of looking how it's trending. Every single mock draft I see, I feel like is him going to Dallas, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Next up is Jordan James from Oregon. Another guy that has gotten a lot of buzz in the offseason so far. I'm going to put him with DJ Giddens in the B tier. I personally like him a lot. I'm excited to see what kind of fit he gets in the draft. Caleb Johnson. Exact same size as Omarion Hampton, if not bigger. In terms of the weight that they carry themselves at, I think Caleb Johnson plays at a bigger weight than Omarion Hampton, but both 6 foot, around 220, 230 pounds. Extremely explosive, north-south runners. I don't think he's as good as Omarion Hampton. I don't think he has the receiving upside that Omarion Hampton has, but I think as running backs, they're very similar. I'm going to put him in the A tier, right next to Omarion Hampton. Now, Quinshon Judkins is an interesting one. Kind of go back and forth between A and B tier. It felt like going from Ole Miss, producing the way he did, to Ohio State in a situation that felt better. It was underwhelming how he performed in 2024. So I'm going to put him at the top of the B tier, right next to DJ Giddens. I can't quite put him in the A tier, but I do think he's probably the next up behind Caleb Johnson. Now, Kyle Monangai. Another interesting story. He was really effective in 2023, but took a step back in 2024. But a smaller running back, definitely doesn't have that workhorse potential, but I'm going to put him in the D tier. Next up, Le'Veon Moss. from Texas A&M. Another guy that's gotten a ton of buzz, but I'm not quite buying into it yet. I'm going to put him in the C tier. Kalel Mullings. This guy was a really interesting story as his career has developed at the University of Michigan. Being a Michigan fan, he was recruited as a linebacker and converted in 2023, and he was running back 3 behind Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. And this past season, he really took over the backfield from Donovan Edwards throughout the season, and he really proved himself as a very high-quality power back. So with that being said, I don't think he's quite B tier, but I think there's a place for him on an NFL team. With that linebacker background, obviously he can be an effective special teamer as well. So the NFL team will have him on the 53-man. Just a matter of what his role is going to be. Next up is another great, later round potential pick, Devin Neal. The Kansas running back, a lot of people are very high on him. I think this B tier is where these, high potential running backs who are probably 3rd to 5th rounders are going to sit for me. And Devin Neal is another one of those guys who are very comparable to guys like Jordan James and DJ Giddens. Next up is Dylan Sampson. Same story, right? He's high potential. A lot of people are very high on him. That B tier has a lot of potential. Super, super high quality running backs that, in different draft classes, maybe they're top 3. I think last year's draft classes, they would probably be top 3. But, this is a deep draft class, as I've said. So we'll see where they end up. Obviously, in the right situation, they could be really great. Next up is Raheem Sanders. I think very similar to guys like Taj Brooks. Powerful guy that can do a little bit of everything, but not quite to the standard that the rest of these guys can do. So I'm going to put him in the C tier with these guys. And then Nick Singleton, he did just announce that he's going back to Penn State. So I'm not going to rank him, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to put him in the B tier because that's where I would have had him. Next up is everyone's darling Cam Skattebo. Power back, great receiver. I'm going to put him in the B tier just so everyone doesn't hate on me, but I'm not super confident in his ability to translate into the NFL. Brashard Smith, this is my darling. This is my diamond in the rough. I think this guy is going to be fantastic in the NFL once he gets an opportunity. Brashard Smith is a B tier for me, and I think he has easily the potential to be like the next Bucky Irving. Obviously, Bucky Irving is fantastic, so that's really saying something for me. I think Brashard Smith has that potential. Next up is Virginia Tech's Tutton. Not exactly sure what the pronunciation is on his last name, but he's another guy that a lot of people are super high on, and I think for that reason I'm going to put him in the B tier. I haven't done a big deep dive on him, but I know a lot of people are really high on his athleticism, and I don't know how much that's going to translate with his size. Obviously, he'll be kind of that change of pace back for whoever he ends up on, but yeah, B tier guy for sure. Woody Marks is another B tier guy for me. That receiving upside alone is fantastic, and he proved this past season he can handle that 3-down back workload, which he wasn't really able to do in the past. And with USC, he really displayed that workhorse season that we were looking for him. So he silenced the haters, and he showed that he can do everything. He is an older prospect, but in terms of talent alone, I'm going to put him in the B tier. Okay, that was my running back tier list. I'll throw it up on the screen for you over my face right now so you can see all the guys. Overall, it's obviously pretty top heavy in terms of those set in stone A tier, S tier guys, but that B tier is going to be really interesting to see who stands out in the NFL, who falls into solid situations where they can exhibit their potential to the best of their ability, and who can break out. I think that B tier is going to have a couple guys that become, running back 1, running back 2 potential guys in fantasy football. And yeah, I'm excited to see this draft cycle is going to be awesome for the running back class. I'm gonna be investing as much as possible in any of these guys in my dynasty leagues. So yeah, let me know if you want to see a video regarding dynasty running back rankings or whatever it might be. Other than that, thanks for watching. If you like this content, please like and consider subscribing because yeah. Anyways, bye.